Say thank you for informing us, definitely.
Mr. Chairman.
I think you will have to also file a complaint
Well,
with the
right
police
now I have to go
department.
to court for it. I had to hire a lawyer, right? Because these charges all carry a sentence to it from 6 months to a year in fines. And
Right.
I just don't understand. And they did, like I was trying to say, when I was in the cell, they didn't even call the bail bondsman for like 2 hours over a turn signal. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Chairman, if I may, this is the natural result of not having a nepotism policy in this town. Officer Pillsbury had applied to be a police officer in this town under a previous town administrator and was denied because that town administrator had a nepotism policy. His mother served on this Board of Selectmen at the time of the application as a selectman. He was denied. It's my understanding that the chief changed the entire hiring process in order to hire him under the next town administrator, which would be Mr. Hartman. Mr. Pillsbury, I wouldn't even call him Officer Pillsbury, and I know from personal family experience, is a disgrace to the Wareham Police Department. He should have never been hired in the first place. And this is the result of hiring family
We
members.
can't go.
Oh, I am going.
We,
And I also notice you're a black man. That was your first mistake.
I believe that, honestly.
And I
honestly
believe it too,
that.
and I'll say it publicly. And I will also say that to discharge an entire can of mace into your face tells me that not only does he not have the proper training and proper attitude, but he's a gutless coward.
All I want to know is why you stopped me. That's all I want to know.
Mr. Savignon, I wanted to say thank you for your apology. I still have a duty to express how the union feels about what has happened in the last couple of weeks, because saying something and maybe not realizing the impact, we'd like to give you how it's impacted us.
Can you say what his name is?
I'll be getting to that. My name is George Dion. I am the Wareham Police Union president. The Wareham Police Union consists of the patrolmen and sergeants of the Wareham Police Department. The police union is shocked, angered, and insulted by the words and actions of the Board of Selectmen over the last few months pertaining to police issues. For weeks, the police union has remained quiet, but after the comments and actions at last week's Selectmen's meeting, we can no longer let the board continue with unprofessional actions. I want to point out, first and foremost, that the police union encourages citizens to file complaints when necessary, but only to the proper agencies. It is the union's belief the Board of Selectmen are creating a hostile working environment for the Wareham Police Department by continuing to field citizen complaints pertaining to the police department. The Board of Selectmen has opened the door for more false accusations by those wanting to get back at the police. The criminal element has become more brazen and challenging towards the Wareham police officers because they know no matter how far they go, they can run to the Board of Selectmen and deny their own culpability. And based on the board's recent track record, they will believe the complainant over their own sworn officers without sufficient facts or proof. The Board of Selectmen are not judges. They are not members of a jury. They are not fact finders in the criminal process. By acting as if they were part of the process, the board shows complete disregard for judicial process, a process in which police officers affirm to. While a citizen does have the right to file a complaint with the Board of Selectmen during citizen participation, the board should be advising them of the correct avenue for said complaints, rather than initiating the investigations themselves. The proper complaint venues are police administration, followed by the judicial court system. Last week, a citizen came in to complain about an allegation of excessive force. However, a member of the board commented that the citizen's first mistake was that he was a black man. The citizen never said that he felt his arrest was racially motivated during his statement or at the time of his arrest. It was a member of the board that said it. I have never heard such an unprofessional statement in my life. Our very own leaders accusing the entire police department of being motivated by skin color and not violations of the law. I can assure you that our black officers have never thought it was a mistake to be black. The citizens of Wareham should be equally as outraged by such a statement. This was an unsubstantiated and very dangerous allegation for a member of the board to make in a public forum. The other members of the board are just as responsible for allowing and not condemning such an utterly false and defamatory statement that was based on personal bias and not the facts. Not one member of the board disagreed or admonished their colleague for such a statement that continued to be a character assassination of one of our brothers, as well as the police department as a whole. That member's statement could have a resounding and dangerous effect on the safety of the Wareham Police Department and in our abilities to perform our duties properly. It will create unrest and anger within the community towards us police officers. It will cause more resistance, more fights, and more brazen attempts of violence towards the police. The Board of Selectmen's motivation is, or should be, the will of the townspeople, not any personal vendettas, agendas, or biases. It is becoming harder and harder to say that we are proud to serve and protect under these leaders. There are no gutless cowards in our ranks. We shed our blood, sweat, and tears for the townspeople of Wareham. We don't run away. We face the criminal element head on. We get punched, battered, bruised, and at most extreme, killed for doing this job. We don't go through those things for our benefit. We do it so the men and women and children of the town of Wareham don't have to. We do it so people can feel safe knowing we're out there putting our lives on the line so they don't have to. The majority of the Wareham Police Department grew up in town, still lives in town, and has their children in the school system. There is no reason for us to disrupt or alienate ourselves from the community. Our actions are motivated by violations of law and nothing else. And we are above all professional. I wish I could say the board is just as professional with us, their own employees, as we are with the public. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. They didn't say anything. Okay,